Today we're going to be continuing to show you all the amazing things you can do in Microsoft Fabric Lakehouse with SQL queries, functionality that's available right now that you can start to leverage. Today we're going to be using a classic function in SQL that not many people know or use, but it is super powerful. It is the pivot function. Is that right, Marcus?
That's right, Chris.
All right, well, let's dig into it right away.
Sounds good. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Fabric screen. And picking up where we left off last time, I have my SQL editor pulled up over the top of my Lakehouse. You can see in my query section, we have that sales rep revenue in the shared area because we can share queries with others. And then I also have the dense rank query that we went through in the My Queries section.
Sure.
So I'm going to go ahead and pull up a new query window here. And I'm going to bring over my pivot statement. And before we run this, we're just going to walk through some of the components of this just to explain what's going on before we see the results produced in our window. So you'll notice that I have a couple of nested statements in here. So the couple examples prior, we just used a base select statement with our where, group by, and potentially an order clause in that. Here we have a couple of select statements nested along with on line 16, you'll see a pivot function that's going to pivot in aggregate. In this case, our revenue summed, it's going to pivot it over an attribute that we defined. So underneath the sum revenue here, we're going to pivot it for the years 2021 and 2022, and we're going to list that out by store name.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
So you'll see at the top here in my select statement, I'm going to list store name, and then I'm going to list the columns that I've defined as 2021 and 2022. Notice how I don't list revenue or any type of total revenue column. That's going to be the values that show up underneath the year columns that I'm pivoting.
Oh, I see. So this is like basically pivot table functions, but inside of SQL, right?
Exactly. Or you could think of it as, how do I generate like a matrix type visual with my SQL query? And this pivot functionality is going to give me a very similar view to a matrix type visual.
So could I use this to validate what I'm seeing inside of Power BI?
You sure could, Chris. You could have somebody show you a matrix visual, and you could take that, columns and aggregates that they're using, and spin that up right in your SQL editor.
Wow. All right. Well, this looks crazy. Let's run it and check it out. So fast.
Super fast. You can see at the bottom here, 2 seconds of runtime. And within 2 seconds, I can see how my stores were performing. One thing to note here, I did add an order by so that I see the top sales by store for the 2022 year. So you'll notice that all my revenues in 2022 are sorted in descending order, and I can quickly see how that compared to my 2021 numbers and have that be for all my stores there.
Oh, this is cool. And I can see that you did a different formatting on this one where you just said just numeric 0 decimal points. You don't care about pennies in this situation because the numbers are so large. And you leave the dollar formatting for the visualization there. This is just raw data coming out, right?
Exactly. I cleaned it up a little bit with using a cast function and changing it to numeric format. It was important that I kept it in a numeric format so that it could later be aggregated in my pivot function. If I would have used the format like I did in a previous query, that changes it to a string data type, thus
Hmm.
not allowing it to be aggregated later on in my pivot function.
Oh, this is fantastic. Awesome, Marcus. Well, thank you so much for showing us how this works, how you can create this, and then talk us through the different use cases on this. Thanks so much.
Not a problem, Chris.
Awesome. Well, we will see you guys on our next video where we're going to be going through common table expressions. Is that right?
You're so right, Chris, and that's one of my favorite functions or in SQL. So come back for the next one.
Oh, I can't wait. Have a great day.